was the only night ever that I was worried about him being out, you know.
My sister rang me and she said, Lou, Tom's boat's gone off the radar.
My view of the sea is the sea will take his own. The sea will take his own.
Now, some news just coming in. The Marine Rescue Services are on the way to the scene of an emergency signal off Hook Head in County Wexford. The signal was from a fishing boat, and all attempts to contact the vessel have since failed.
Just 2 miles off the coast behind me, something went catastrophically wrong on board the Père Charles. Within minutes, the trawler was gone. All 5 crewmen are now presumed dead.
I sail on the ocean. I have one secret inside.
On the 10th of January 2007, the Père Charles sank with the loss of 5 lives. Skipper Tom Hennessy, aged 30. 48-year-old Pat Hennessy, who was Tom's uncle. Patrick or Pa Cody, aged 27. 32-year-old Andre Dryran. And Billy O'Connor, aged 52. Mystery still surrounds what caused the 19-metre steel trawler to sink. Fishing out of Dunmore East, the Père Charles and the Susanna G had both gone out early on January the 10th, shooting their nets for herring.
Well, the Wednesday we went out as usual. Tom shot first, and he got whatever herrings he got, and he took them aboard, and he shot again and took them aboard, and the third time he shot, we took the fish aboard. So we probably had around 30 tonne aboard.
I knew that they had the best days fishing that they'd had since they went at the herrings, and they had herrings in the 2 boats, so basically they wouldn't want to be fooling around when they got in, you know, to get the fish out of the boat. They wanted to get in, have the lorries on the quay and have the fish out by midnight.
When we were finished taking the fish from Tom's net, Tom proceeded to head for home, and we finished our few little jobs and we went after him. We were only maybe half a mile behind him.
The Père Charles had maybe 50 tonnes of herring on board, a full catch. Both it and the Susanna G had been fishing just south of Hook Head. They were on their way home to Dunmore East.
The boat was coming down to the race of the Hook, and it was a sloppy old night. It wasn't that bad, it was workable, but when you get into the tide race there, she was fairly heavily laden, and Tom was an experienced skipper. He knew what he was doing, but you never know with these old tides what can happen.
It was just getting dark. Well, it was gone dark, and Tom called me up. He said he was in a bit of bother, to stand by him. When he called me to say he was in a bit of bother, I said to Brian to keep an eye on him, and I would alter course to go over towards him. And when I went to set the radar on a lower scale, I couldn't find him on the radar.
After calling Dennis Harding to stand by him, something went drastically wrong. Tom Hennessy didn't even have time to press the distress button. The Père Charles was sinking, and sinking fast.
From the time he called me till the time we would have got over to him would have been maybe 3 or 4 minutes. He was only maybe half a mile away.
In seconds, the Père Charles and its crew were gone.
We just panicked ourselves because we searched around the area, and we got in touch with Minehead, and he got the helicopter out straight away, and they picked up the E-Perp.
At 6 minutes past 6, we were called by the Coast Guard to reports of a fishing vessel that had sunk just off Hook Head. So we got in the Judy aircraft and lifted it 18 minutes past 6, straight up and out towards the Hook Head. We got Mike to turn on the homers, which allow us to fly towards basically the beacon that all the vessels carry. And straight away we had a very strong signal, and we saw something in the water, which turned out to be a life ring. We went on from there and found an orange Cas bottle, and then another 20 yards further on the actual beacon itself with its small strobe on top.
The RNLI lifeboat is dispatched first. I mean, that's their immediate response at sea. But we're here waiting then to see what casualties is coming from the boat and to try and launch a coastal search.
Initially when we found the beacon, we thought we've got this in the bag, we've got them. And to find the life ring, again thinking, right, there's a life ring, someone's around here. But then to find nothing else but the 3 items in the water, not even a dot of oil, you're disappointed. You want to find people.
I went home anyway and I said I'd get the dinner ready because I knew Tom would be in about an hour. And I was only home about a half an hour and my sister rang me and she said, Lou, Tom's boat's gone off the radar. And I kind of went, what do you mean? She said, Dennis just said that they can't find Tom's boat. And my heart was in my mouth when I heard this. I knew there was something wrong because Tom was never one to panic anyone else unless it was deadly serious.
The boats that were searching out there that evening, it must have been horrendous. They were fighting a driving wind and the water and rain must have been hammering tongues off the boats. Trying to get a visual out at sea must have been almost impossible.
Gusting 70 knots, I would imagine, at the minute, about 70 mile an hour winds with a heavy swell, and getting worse.
It's very wild at the moment now, blowing a gale there, and conditions are very poor for searching, you know.
Pretty unbearable at the moment with the swell and the spray. Visibility is very poor there, you know, so it's not a nice sight at the moment there.
Midnight and still no sign of the 5 missing men. With the weather atrocious and getting worse, the search was called off for the night.
It's very heartbreaking at the moment there, you know.
And a lot of lads are well known here, sure, everybody knows them.
All local people, like, you know. Local people, you with them over the Christmas and there you go, isn't it? You know, it's a shame.
The pair, Charles, sank just 2 miles south of Hook Head off the Wexford coast, only 18 miles away on the Waterford coast, 3 miles from Minehead. Another boat is battling against storm force 10 winds and mountainous waves. That boat is the Honeydew 2. On board is skipper Ger Bohan, an experienced fisherman from Kinsale. His 3 crewmates, Thomas Jagla from Poland, Viktor Losev and Vladimir Koster, both from Lithuania. And these are the last recorded images of the Honeydew 2, showing the 26-year-old wooden trawler in Kinsale on January the 9th, with Ger and his colleagues unloading fish and preparing the Honeydew for its next venture. Early the next morning, January the 10th, the 4-man crew arrived down on the quay, and when everything was ready, the Honeydew left Kinsale for what would turn out to be its last fishing trip.